So here I am in Londonthorpe Church, which is just outside Grantham in Lincolnshire here in the UK. And we are finally installing another of the little Casson organs. This is the one which I bought from Cheddington 4 years ago. This church expressed an interest in the instrument shortly after I bought it, and they've had a faculty, which is like the Church of England version of planning permission, to have that organ. And like many Church of England churches in this part of the country, the roots of this church are 1,000 years old. So let's just go and see how old that door is. Well, that's not a new one, is it? Right, let's go over to the north side of the church and I'll show you where we're putting the organ in. So there you can see it starting to take shape in the corner. This is an organ which I overhauled the action in its tracker action in the main part, like a lot of these small Casson Positives. And then you've got pneumatic open diapason, I think it is on this one. And that has some pneumatic accessories which enable it to play picking out the right hand note. It has a melodic open diapason as well as the ordinary one. And there's banks and banks of nightmare pneumatics to overhaul, and that's taken a lot of time. So I'll just zoom in. It's a 44 note keyboard, single keyboard and no pedals, and you can see the Gidakt pipes sat there on the soundboard. So it's tracker action to the main part, and then you've got pneumatic accessories. The front pipe block, which you can see, is also pneumatically operated directly out of the soundboard, and I'll show you that in closer detail in a moment. You've got three, I'm going to call them board-on pipes on the right. It doesn't have pedals in it, it's addressed through a pneumatic melodic system which plays the lowest note that you're holding, and it sounds like you've got pedals. And that's at the moment what I'm installing. So without the front on at the moment, you can see the bellows poking out there, and because it's operated by an electric fan, you can see it had harmonium type feeder pedals. We always remove the feeders on these because they're always needing re-leathering, and you don't tend to find that churches want to pay for that to happen. And it also enables us to have more room underneath for future maintenance. And the other thing with the feeders is if they fill up with mice. Churches like to have mice, it seems. So there we are, a short compass 44 note keyboard, like all these have. You've got the faceboard for the soundboard. I've only just put that back on, and I wish I hadn't, then you could have seen inside. And then if we just zoom into that, this is the pneumatic thing. We've just been renewing all these pneumatic motors because it goes without saying they were eaten by mice. Just looking at the front part of the soundboard, you can see there's some pneumatic tubing which are going to the motor. We've put cover boards on to try and stop mice getting in the future. And if you look, I'll just pause it. So the mice can't get in from this side, so we've put cover boards the far side, as you can see. So there's one there, there's one at the front, and it's grooved in. So this is the air supply coming from the main wind trunk, and then that's grooved into the to the upper board. And I have checked that all these new motors are working, so that'll be nice to hear that for the first time, because when we played it in Cheddington there wasn't a lot of this pneumatic accessory stuff working, although the main part of the organ was. You can see the electrician's been busy installing a contactor, an isolator and earth leakage circuit breaker. There's the control valve. This is a temporary arrangement, it's not even screwed in. We've got the control valve wire going over or it's cord on this, going over the this pull-in onto the bellows. There's faceboards there for the melodic action for the automatic bass thing, and this is, I've just been installing this morning, and I've come back with the camera this afternoon, so you can see the all new wires. One or two of these were broken, some of them were bent, so I wanted this to work, and I'll be ending up playing here, so I definitely want it to work. There's a cover board we've put on this. It's a little chest with 2, 4, 6 notes, is it? Because you'll see later on in the installation there's a fly pallet machine, because 2 stops share some of the bass pipes. I think it's just 6 or 8 of them. It's 8, isn't it, on these? So we've got 20 notes along this bottom, and these operate these pneumatic valves. Inside here are what we call tip cats, and they block off the previous note, so it's always looking for your lowest note. This is the bass one, and it will play the board on automatically from that, and that's the only way to play it. I thought this was all aligned at the workshop, and then when I installed it this morning I found that 3 work and then it doesn't, so the tip cap must be in the wrong position, so I'll have to look at that. But it will all be working, I have every faith. Or I won't get paid, will I? There's another pneumatic nightmare machine waiting to go in there, and then right in the corner there's the slip above the keyboard, which is where the draw stops will go in, and I'm leaving that till much later, because when I did the Kelby one I put the draw stops in too early, and if you get any of the tracker action wires pop out, it's a nightmare to get them in if the draw stops are already in. You just see peeping out there the tracker action. It's horizontal. Let's see if we can just get the camera to go under there. Could do with the light, couldn't we? All the wires and trackers and things were renewed under there, so that should be trouble free for the next 100 years hopefully. And then the pedal chests, I'm going to call them pedal chests, but it's through that automatic mechanism. You can see they've now been tubed in. These go into the stop control for the 2 pneumatic melodic things. And again we've put anti-mouse boards on the inside, whereas normally they're just on the outside. So hopefully I'll take a shot of the outside of the church, but it was so throwing it with rain when I arrived just half an hour ago that I thought we'll skip that bit. And just looking up at there, we've got a duster shoved in that conveyance because the next chest isn't in yet, and that's one of the new, when I can get the camera in the right position, that's one of the new motors which we've just made with a new felt on. Again, they were all eaten away, so I think we've renewed. There's another chest over here ready to go in, just one moment. Just put it on its side, and that's another of the pneumatic chests, and that one will operate the treble section. That's middle C to the top, and that will be for the melodic right hand, whatever the stop is. It's like I said to you, we've got the Gidactin in, but I don't know what it's actually called on the organ, but that's what it looks like. What I'm hoping to do is to get the next rack board in, and the next rank of pipes which have come back from the workshop, having been absolutely cleaned. So let's just see if we can get that done this afternoon. So an hour later we've fitted the solutional to the organ, that extra upper board, not upper board, rack board in from the solutional, and I've also had a look at that melodic bass chest. I've made an adjustment to a valve, and it now appears to all be working, but we haven't got it tubed up, so although there's little bits of air coming out of things, we can't prove anything until the pipes are in and the pneumatic tubing is installed. But we're heading in the right direction there. So this will be the quietest stop on the organ, so I'll just kind of pull the slide out manually, and it's not been tuned, it's as it's come back from the workshop, so just see what that sounds like. So there you are, that's a nice stringy spotted metal rank of pipes. So we'll see if it stops raining a bit to just take a few seconds outside. So here we are outside Londonthorpe Church. It's actually stopped raining. So not a huge building. And there we have it from Londonthorpe. So I'll bring the camera another day when we get a bit closer.